Hello and welcome to a very important Bitcoin technical analysis update for you, where I am going to be covering the most important support and resistance levels here on the Bitcoin chart, as well as explaining why we saw this rapid and very big move to the downside. So I hope that you thoroughly enjoy this one. Shout out to CryptoFX for requesting this update, and it's more than a pleasure to bring this to you. So I hope that you thoroughly enjoy it, and yeah, you totally appreciate me taking the time for this. So let's begin with this drop that has occurred. So we can clearly see, firstly, let's go over why this drop has happened. Okay, it's really obvious. Okay, basically what's the pattern that's been happening on Bitcoin thus far in these ranges is obviously we form sideways consolidation, we move up, sideways consolidation, move up, sideways consolidation. What's been happening is the first low made has then formed higher lows to move up again, first low made, higher lows to move up again. This was the anomaly or the difference from our other patterns. We formed our first low. Okay, so we formed a first low, then you go on to swing failure pattern to high, more or less. Okay, so you swing failure, so you come up and take the highs, you close back up below it. Okay, this whole region up here for me was really dangerous to long up here, so I didn't open any swing longs up here. For me this was too dangerous of a place because of the fact we were moving up here on decreasing volume, and moving up on decreasing volume is bearish, so I was not comfortable opening any new swing longs up here. But basically we swing failed the high, and instead of forming a higher low, we just ended up coming straight back down. Okay, so there was no higher low put in after this. It was just literally the downtrend continuing, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then you take the low of the range, which is the first time this has happened in quite a while. Taking the first low made, not happened. Here it happened, and obviously people trail up their stop loss, trail up their stop loss, trail up their stop loss, and then as soon as you take that low, you get millions upon millions of liquidations happening, as people are either getting liquidated out of their position or stopped out of their position. How can we see this for, rather than me just saying it, but actually put evidence and facts to paper? Well, just come across and look at a footprint chart. Okay, so we take a look at our open interest, take a look at the liquidations that are happening there, the volume that's coming in. It's really clear that it's a lot of liquidation run essentially. So that's basically why the reason we got this swift move to the downside. Okay, so that in its sense is sort of on the midterm time frame, one has to say it's good to, I was wanting to see this retrace because it gives a more of a healthy vibe to the uptrend. Okay, you want to see people get stopped out, you want to see retraces in an uptrend, you don't want to just see up and up and up and up. That is not what you want to see if you're in this for the medium term. Okay, so the way that I was trading this yesterday, and this is the update that I was giving last night, is that I was wanting to see this retrace, and I was actually trading off the CME futures gap. Okay, so my trade in particular, the way I was laddering into this, well, that's stocks, I wanted to go onto here, so the CFD futures gap. Okay, as we all know, the last few gaps had got very close and front run the gap, each by like $10-20. So my trade was to front run this gap again. And I had a entry while we were back up at like 10,200-ish, just below, for looking to trade that futures gap basically. Okay, so I got filled on this one at 8,994, and then I sold for profit at the end of the day. So it was a winning trade, I suppose. And this is about $100 in BTC value, but then sold that at 9,925. So not nothing to shout home about, but nevertheless that was my trade of wanting to see this retrace. And the reason why the bearish signs were there is now I want to move on to explain the bearish signs, because we got obviously if you were laddering in or whatever, but you could have got filled on this, and then the bearish sign was that we come back up and retested support and it flipped to resistance. Okay, so this was when I was cautious. We made the low, we made the lower high, and as we broke this low to make the bearish market structure off of the rejection, that's where I closed out for slight profits. So that was the trade that I last took, and as you can see, I am now in no position at all. Okay, so I'm not in a position right now. So yeah, this is now how I'm looking to trade it per se, after this. So in terms of bearishness, so let's firstly cover that. Okay, I must say, just put it out there straight away, that I am more bullish, by the way, still, but nevertheless let's cover the bearish scenario, and that's that. And unless we can claim 10k, this is a support flip to resistance, and we will head down lower. Okay, so line in the sand is this 10,000, let's just say 10,100, until you can claim 10,100, and you don't feel comfortable trading down here for if you just don't you want a bit of confirmation or whatever it is, then you could just wait until 10,000 is reclaimed, and just if it goes down lower, it goes down lower, and you can just wait until a confirmation of a signal has come to you that this is turning around, because at the moment you don't have that. So buying right now is a little bit just like catching a falling knife, really. Okay, you want to wait for at least this short-term time frame confirmation, which you do not have at the moment. So hence why I'm being cautious at the moment. So I am bullish, but I'm not entering a long right now until I get my trigger for a long, which hasn't happened yet. So yeah, the bearish scenario is that until you claim 10k, this can come down and test lower levels such as the weekly, and that brings me on to the support. So currently, I would say you have this support of this old channel. This old channel had been lovely. I was trading this channel very nice indeed. And the middle of this channel sits at around 9,725. Yeah, this was slightly changed because this was before the low of my channel, and this was $100 range. But I've adjusted it slightly, and now we can see that the old low is actually the middle. So it's nevertheless 9,725 is the local support, coming down to around 9,500 as the very low support, and then 10,000 as resistance. So these are your three key levels until you can claim a resistance, either this resistance back up here as support. You could say that it's bearish, all of this, but in my opinion, the way I'm looking to trade this, I want to see this range bound. So I'm very much aware that we have New York Open happening. So I would like to see volatility pick up into New York Open. Okay, so that's where we could see the continuation to the downside lower, or, you know, a V-shaped recovery. I must say, though, in terms of probability, obviously, this is the thing. In my personal opinion, the most probable scenario is that we actually stay sideways a little bit here longer and range bound. You know, trading is about probabilities. There are no certainties. We absolutely could just go straight down or straight back up, but I don't think it's the most probable. I am much more expecting sideways consolidation for the rest of the day, but I'm aware of New York Open in a few hours, so I will be trading that. So you know, if it happens, the volatility, then great, but I am more expecting a sideways range. And what I want to see is continuous aggressive selling at the lows while we hold support. Okay, so as long as we can maintain support with really aggressive selling. So in this period, so the last nearly coming on 12 hours, we've seen 281 million sold at market. That's great, because if you do claim 10k, you get a lot of trap traders. So you know, I'm not in a long position at the moment. Okay, so I'm not in the long at the moment, but I am looking to take one shortly. Once I've had my trigger, once I've got my confirmation that I require for my setups, I will take a long. Obviously, if that confirmation never comes, then I'll happily take a short. It's not like I'm against shorting Bitcoin, because I've done it many times. But it's just at the moment, I view this more as a back test of support when we come up to the higher term timeframes. All we do so far is resistance flip to support. You know, resistance flip to support, resistance flip to support. Could we do it again here? Absolutely, we could. So resistance or flip to support. And until, you know, on the bigger trend, although this is a bearish engulfing candle, yeah, that's quite bearish on the short term, bearish engulfing, but nevertheless, I would still like to see the resistance flip to support. Or alternatively, we hold this low, we still seek you know, aggressive selling onto the lows, and you know, that would be a really bullish sign. Okay, so that would be really bullish if we can get that. So I must say that my sort of opinion of this on the midterm is that this is a healthy pullback. Okay, and we will continue the uptrend. But with that said, I must obviously stress that I'm playing this cautiously. I'm not just going to long here with no confirmation. I need my confirmation. I need my trigger before I long. If I don't get that, then I will short, but I am much more bullish. And I believe that right now, okay, 95% of the market is going to be absolutely so scared. There's going to be so much fear, so much confusion. You're going to start seeing all the charts come out on Twitter of, oh, here we go back to 3k. You know, this was the top. Sell, 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 sell. You know, you're going to start to see all that come out. In my opinion, you know, I like to say I'm a very wise, knowledgeable trader. You know, I've been around for the years, and you know, we see this every day. We literally see these moves every day. So for me, this is nothing out of the ordinary. This is still a healthy uptrend. This is just a retest, and I am looking for longs, just waiting for my confirmation, if I'm honest. But yeah, there's that. So yeah, I must say that is what I wanted to mention there. Obviously, alts are pulling back pretty heavily while we get this volatility in Bitcoin, so you have to be cautious on altcoins. But you know, that said, you know, I'm more interested in trading Bitcoin today, if I'm honest. And I like to end the video with saying that, you know, if you would like to see my, you know, because obviously in last night's Champions live stream, okay, I was giving updates, and shout out to Tom here, who you know, took very good notes on my live stream of that 9780 as a support level. And see, these are some of the notes that he made a few pages of really good notes. And, you know, this is what I was explaining in the live stream. And these are the notes. Shout out to him, because, you know, this is what I mean. You put in this type of work and you will get rewarded. And he has got rewarded by being in a profitable trade. So, you know, this is you know, this for me is so proud to see people learning like this. It's absolutely brilliant. And, you know, what I was explaining in the stream last night was obviously we're in the uptrend, reaches a point where you're going to reach a high. can't break through this, and you will get the stop hunt. And that is exactly what we've seen. How could we, envision that this was going to potentially be a top? And it was basically for the volume. Okay, so moving up on that declining volume was, the bearish sign. Didn't mean it had to happen there. We could have still continued up. Again, it's all about probabilities, but the swing failure and then not forming the higher low and just continuous trend, taking the lows, that was the real, big confirmation that, you could have had a stock market if you even wanted to. I didn't trade like that because I'm more aggressive on the longs than the shorts, but open to how you want to trade it, sort of thing. Again, this video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a trader. You literally need to do your own research. Just because I'm looking to buy here doesn't mean you should. Not financial advice. Let's just make that clear. But yeah, shout out to Tom. Putting in that sort of work is brilliant to see. And I would just like to say, actually, so this is, I suppose, where I can just show myself a little bit, that today, for example, I gave like a video update. I'm doing like these nearly every day now. So I do like these video live streams. So actually live streams, I'm doing them most days now for the Champions group. But this is an update that I gave today to the champions, contenders, and players, which I do like daily updates, but today I done it in a video format where, if you want to know exactly what I'm looking for, my exact triggers, to know where I'll happily post in the group for like when I, enter my longs or take a short. If you want those sort of live real-time updates, then obviously, you'd have to come along and join Chart Champions. And I think you can see from some of the comments, people really like the content I give. So that's brilliant to see. Makes me very, very proud. And obviously you have to appreciate that, the level of explanations that I give on Twitter or that I give on YouTube they're not going to be the same amount of detail and thorough explanations, exact triggers that what I would give to my members. And I hope you appreciate that there's going to be a difference between what I give out to the general public and what I give to the the people under my mentorship. There's obviously there's going to be a difference. So if you really want to know exactly how I'm trading this, my triggers, and real big, like in-depth, thorough updates, then obviously chartchampions.com is the place for you. And on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a live stream covering open interest and funding, two majorly important parts of trading that not many people know about. So if you're interested in learning about that, then yeah, on Wednesday I will be doing that live stream. And obviously last night's live stream would have been helpful as well. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, short term playing cautiously on the longs. I must say I'm cautious until I get my trigger. But then once I get that, I'll happily look to long this up to for 10k first, and they've claimed that 10,400ish. But yeah, on the flip side, okay, if we cannot if we don't get any triggers to long and we cannot break 10k support, 10k resistance, then we will naturally be heading down towards 9,500 again. So yeah, I must. And final words is midterm. I remain bullish, and I'm definitely far from scared or panicking or anything like that on this move. For me, this is healthy backtest until proven otherwise. Okay, until proven otherwise, this is just a nice backtest. Okay, so I'm really not worrying. Looking to get longs shortly. So yeah, thank you once again, everybody. I hope that you have thoroughly enjoyed this video and appreciate the time. I'm sure you can still see the value, although this is obviously not as in-depth as my paid stuff. I'm sure you can see the value, and in this video, I really hope that you can appreciate and understand that. And I've given you the key levels for what you can be looking for supports. Okay, obviously this channel, make a note of this channel because it's very, 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 very nice indeed. So make a note of these channel prices, and then obviously your weekly and daily, very important indeed. So thank you once again, everybody. I'm going to wrap this one up, and yeah, cheers, thank you, and have a brilliant day. Bye.